I'm going to do a few videos that describe some of the process that you're going to go through with the Boy Scout logo. I wanted to make a couple of points as you're sort of thinking about the process here. This is not meant to be close to the Boy Scout logo or kind of sort of like the Boy Scout logo. We want it to be as accurate as possible. So we want you to use the source images that are provided as templates that you work on top of. Don't have them open and off to the side and sort of kind of do it. Actually use these as a reference because that's part of the grading criteria of this one. Secondly, there are two different graphics that are provided. The first one has the central elements of the fleur-de-lis and the eagle. The second one has extra stuff around those central elements. You need to do the first graphic to help you get the fleur-de-lis and eagle because it has the detail, and then move on to the second one. I'm going to start now on that central part and give you some tips and some things to avoid. I've got Illustrator open. I am going to be placing the graphic into Illustrator and giving you some do's and don'ts as you go through. All right, I'm going up to my file menu and I'm going down to place. I'm going to locate the graphic on my computer. If you are moving between different computers and you're concerned you're going to lose the graphic, then make sure link is unchecked. You can use the template option. I don't want to do that on mine either right now, so I'm not checking either of those, and I'm clicking on place. The graphic will obviously be wherever I place it on the screen, and it's a little bit small. I've currently got a letter size document open. I want this to be about the width of the page. I'm going to have to scale it down later, but it's going to be easier to work with now if it's bigger. So I'm going to scale it up, and I'm going to make sure I'm going from the corners because I don't want to squash it. I don't want one of these where I end up with it tall or, oddly compressed in some way. Just make sure you're scaling proportionally, which means that you're holding the shift key down as you scale and that you're scaling from the corners. Once you get it in, it's proportional, it's about the width of your page. I'm going to lock my layer. And that's because I didn't bring it in as a template. I'll manually need to lock it because I don't want to modify this and I don't want to put anything else on this layer. I'm going to create an additional layer to work on top of, which is in my case currently called layer 2. I could give it a different name. Actually, I will. I'm going to go ahead and call mine fleur-de-lis, or I could have just called it fleur. It's not fleur-de-list either. I'm just typing great. Okay. I even misspelled fleur. It's F-L-E-U-R. All right, fleur-de-lis. Now that I have that, I am going to tell you just a couple of quick things about the basic construction here. First of all, you are not going to be drawing the entire thing. If you look at it, this is a symmetrical graphic. The left and the right-hand sides of this are the same in terms of the fleur-de-lis. So I'm going to draw half. I'm going to create a flipped copy, join those two pieces together, and I'll have a perfectly symmetrical shape. I want to do it that way for two reasons. One, it's half as much work, and two, the left and the right-hand sides will then be identical, and they're very difficult to be that otherwise. The same basic thing is true of your eagle, the difference in the eagle being his head. Every other part of him is symmetrical across that central axis. Same thing's true of the shield. Same thing's true of the left and right legs. So there's a lot of elements here that we're going to create a flipped copy of. As far as the fleur-de-lis is also concerned, I am not going to draw it as a bunch of segments. It is one continuous shape. So I am going to pretend, for the purposes of my building this thing, as if there were not these parts where the white of the eagle covers them up. And I'm just temporarily scribbling these in, but I wanted to sort of give you an idea of what our final version is going to look like. And please do not think what I'm doing right now is an appropriate way of drawing it. I was just trying to show you how we're going to approach this. We're going to draw this as a continuous fleur-de-lis form. When we do the eagle later on, he's going to have a white stroke on the outside, and that is what is going to create those white gaps. So just know that going in. I'm going to take out the yucky scribbly things I did just a second ago, and now I'm ready to draw. Beyond that, I want you to know that there's a couple of different ways that you can build this. You can do it with the pen tool, very precisely drawing around, or you can use shape primitives or some combination therein. I'm going to do it both ways. I'm going to do it with the pen tool, and I'll separately do it with the shape primitives so that you can see which way kind of works better for you. And then once I reach that sort of midpoint where I have half of it, that's going to go back and be yet another video because you should be in the same place either method by then. So I'm going to stop this first video. When you restart, you can sort of see which of the two methods you want to go with and see how things progress.